The observation deck of the ISS Humanity's Hope offered the best view of the Lyran homeworld, and Alex Chen had spent countless hours there over the past 6 months. Tonight, however, he wasn't admiring the violet skies or the crystalline cities that dotted the planet below. He was watching Rose. Princess Rose Thanner of the 7th House stood at the viewport, her luminescent skin casting a soft blue glow across the darkened deck. The diplomatic exchange program had brought Alex and his small human delegation to the Lyran system, part of humanity's desperate attempt to forge alliances after Earth's near destruction by the Vorkai swarms. What was supposed to be a simple cultural exchange had become something far more complicated, at least. For Alex it had. Rose turned slightly, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence. A gesture Alex had learned meant she was deep in thought. The Lyrans were considered one of the most advanced species in the Galactic Council. Their civilization spanning 3 star systems and 15 habitable worlds. They were beautiful, powerful, and utterly beyond humanity's reach in almost every measurable way, and Alex had fallen hopelessly in love with her. It was absurd, really. Humans had only been in the galactic community for 3 years. They were the newcomers, the primitives who still used combustion engines and had barely mastered fusion power. The Lyrans had been traveling between stars for 10,000 years. The nebula is particularly vibrant tonight, Rose said without turning. Her voice carried the musical quality all Lyrans possessed, each word like a carefully played note. Yeah, Alex managed. Beautiful. During their time together, Rose had shown him wonders he'd never imagined. She'd taken him to the singing gardens, where trees communicated through harmonious vibrations. She'd introduced him to Lyran philosophy, history, and art. She'd treated him not as a curiosity from a backward world, but as an equal, as a friend, and that had been his undoing. Dr. Sarah Martinez, the head of the human delegation, had warned him, "Don't get attached, Alex. They live for 300 years. Their concept of relationships is completely different. To them, we're children playing at civilization," but Rose had never made him feel that way. "You're troubled," Rose observed, finally turning to face him fully. "Your biorhythms are elevated. I can sense your distress." Right, Lorenz were low-level empath. Alex had forgotten that for a moment. He tried to calm his racing heart, but it was useless. After months of suppressing his feelings, keeping them carefully hidden during their discussions of interstellar trade agreements and cultural exchange programs, everything was bubbling to the surface. Tomorrow, the human delegation would return to Earth. This was their last night together. "I'm fine," Alex lied. "Just thinking about heading home." Rose tilted her head, another gesture he'd learned to read. "You're saddened by the departure." "As am I, are you?" The question escaped before he could stop it. "Of course. These months have been—" She paused, searching for words in his language. "Enlightening. Your species is remarkable, Alex Chen. You arrived in our system 3 years ago. Refugees from a world torn apart by war and invasion. You had nothing. No great technology. No powerful weapons. No vast knowledge of the universe." Alex felt his face flush with embarrassment. This was it, a reminder of humanity's inadequacy. But Rose continued, stepping closer. "And yet, in 3 years, you've rebuilt, you've learned, you've adapted to technologies that take most species decades to comprehend. You've mastered quantum communications that we assumed would be beyond your neural capacity. More than that, you've retained your hope, your creativity, your capacity for joy and wonder despite everything you've lost." She was close now, close enough that he could see the subtle patterns of light that danced beneath her translucent skin. "Do you know what the Galactic Council calls humanity?" Rose asked. Alex shook his head. "The resilient ones. The species that refuse to break." Her lower eyes focused on him while her upper ones remained fixed on the stars. "When the Vorkai destroyed your homeworld, we all expected humanity to fade away, to become refugees scattered across our worlds, eventually losing your culture, your identity. Instead, you've become stronger." "Rose, Alex's voice cracked. He turned away, moving to the far side of the observation deck. He couldn't do this, couldn't bare his soul when tomorrow he'd leave and never see her again. The gulf between their worlds was too vast. "I wish I could marry her," he whispered to himself, or so he thought. The words escaped barely audible, a confession to the stars themselves, a human fantasy that could never be real. Belirins, Alex remembered too late, had exceptional hearing. Rose crossed the deck in 3 graceful strides. She stood before him, all 4 eyes focused solely on him now, wide with something that looked almost like wonder. "My answer is yes." Alex stared at her, certain he'd misheard. "What?" "The Lyran bonding ceremony requires mutual consent," Rose explained. her bioluminescence intensifying a sign of strong emotion. I have been waiting for you to ask, Alex Chen. Hoping you would, but I feared your species' customs might prevent it, that you would see the differences between us as insurmountable. But I'm human. We're so different. Yes, Rose agreed, reaching out to take his hand. Her skin was warm, electric. We are different. That is precisely why this matters. The Galactic Council has rules about interspecies bonding. They're difficult to navigate, but not impossible. And if there's one thing I've learned about humans, her mouth curved into an expression Alex had taught her, a smile, it's that you excel at the impossible. Alex felt tears forming. Your family, they'll never accept it. I'm nobody, just a junior diplomat from a species that barely survived extinction. You're wrong, Rose said softly. You're exactly right. You're a survivor, a representative of a species that looked at annihilation and chose hope instead. That's not weakness, Alex. That's the most powerful thing in the universe. She squeezed his hand, and I love you for it. The observation deck fell silent except for the soft hum of the ship's systems. Below them, the Lyran home world continued its eternal rotation, while above, the stars bore witness to something new, a union between two worlds, two species, two hearts that refused to accept that some distances couldn't be crossed. Yes, Alex finally whispered back. Yes, I want to marry you. Rose's luminescence flared bright enough to fill the entire deck with blue-white light, and for the first time in 3 years, since Earth fell and humanity scattered to the stars, Alex Chen felt truly home.